Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Happy autumn equinox, happy Mabon to those who celebrate. I do. It was a glorious Mabon. We had such a good time celebrating, baking some goodies and having a home-cooked meal, which is one of my favorite ways to celebrate Mabon, is to bake and have a home-cooked meal with the people that you love, and just be grateful for the harvest and for what has been harvested from you, to make space for this season of death to come in and clear out the lands, make them barren so that they can fill up and be fertilized come spring. I needed to film an intro to this video. I realized while editing that I never filmed an intro to this video. So here it is, late. My hair is different. I look different. So this video has been filmed over the course of about a week and a half. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing just a small ritual that I perform for grief. I have been experiencing a massive amount of grief over the last, I wanna say 3 or 4 months. And recently I experienced a huge loss, and it's just been very difficult to navigate through. I felt very far from my spirituality. I felt like I couldn't really tap in the way that I wanted to, and I was really struggling to figure out how to get back into it. So the beginning of this video is me going back to the womb. I believe so fully, so full-heartedly that when you are struggling through anything, when you're struggling with grief or loss, when you're struggling with confusion or lack or depression or anything that stops you in your tracks from your forward movement, where you're able to look at these ebbs and be like, okay, well, what is this showing me? What needs to be healed? What needs to be let go of? What needs to be moved on from? When we're stuck in those loops, it's very difficult for us to get ourselves out if we do not do things or utilize tools or spaces to reignite that connection with source. You don't ever need tools to do this, but in our 3D world, in the mundane world, sometimes it's just a little bit easier to get back into the flow of things and the swing of things when we are utilizing these tools. Some people use divination tools like tarot or scrying. Some people use candle magic for manifestation and release. Some people use moon magic, some people use water, some people cleanse themselves, and some people rebirth themselves. It's really up to you with what type of rituals you want to do. So in the beginning of this video, I'm just sharing a ritual that I performed at my local park, somewhere that is near and dear to my heart that I frequent a lot. I took rose petals that were given to me when my dog soulmate passed away in June. I dried them and I put them aside for whenever I need that spark of feeling that loyalty and feeling unconditional love and feeling patience and compassion. And they're white roses, and I was gifted them by my niece, and it was just so sweet. And so I dried them, and in this ritual, that is what I'm using to symbolize those 3 who have passed on. One thing with death is that we often get so wrapped up in the reality that the physical is not here anymore, that it really stops us from being able to honor the fact that this soul is now free from the physical reality, and they are able to embark on now their next transition for their journey, for their purpose. And that's a big lesson that I've been learning with grief. I wanted to put a disclaimer in the beginning of this video for grief and for loss. In this video, I'm sharing a ritual that I performed to honor and release the heaviness of grief. and to honor the souls who have passed on their next journey from the physical into the metaphysical, into the ethers, and really just respecting the fact that they are going through a transition as well, and they're in a completely different reality, and they're thriving in a different way than what I got to see them do here. Grief can be extremely destructive if not taken care of in a very patient and compassionate way. And I have experienced a lot of grief in my life, but I will say that these last 3 that I've experienced recently have really been kicking my ass and really calling me deeper into my spirituality, so that way I can make that connection with them in their next phase. I can make that connection with them in the new energy that they're embodying on the other side. And those things never go away. The communication never stops. So if you are struggling with grief, please reach out to the resources needed. Talk to your therapist, talk to a soul coach, talk to your loved ones. Reach out and talk to the loved ones that have passed, because they are there. They're there to guide you. And if this video is not for you, I completely understand, but I wanted to share some of my process on how I'm working my way out of the depths of grief. So in the beginning of this video, you'll see me performing that ritual. I went to my local park and I went to the water. And I recently read a poem about how in ancient times we would go and grieve our loved ones at the lake. We would go and grieve them at the stream and shout our pain and shout our grief into the water and allow it to be carried away with the current and the flow, and allow us to move forward and move on from that by doing that. And so I went to our water and I spoke to the spirits of the land and of the water of that place. And I asked them to help aid in me healing my heart and my energy in this just difficult time. It was a really beautiful moment for me. It was something different than what I've ever done when I've experienced grief. I don't think I've really ever experienced grief the way that I have been recently, and I've lost a lot of people that I have grieved. But this last set of 3 have just really awoken something deeper in me. And as someone whose business, whose purpose is to lead people into the shadows to see what is there so that we may heal it in order to lead them back out into the light, into true light, it was definitely a dark night of the soul for me. It was such a beautiful ceremony. I felt instantly a release and a different, deeper understanding of where these souls have went, and feeling their energy around me, feeling their energy, being grateful that I'm choosing to not suffer, but choosing to choose life in a more broader sense. And then the next portion of the video is of me doing witch bells. It is fall. I'm so happy that it is fall. It is my season. Although I'm a winter baby, we're not even gonna talk about that. It is fall, and my heart and soul is autumnal. There's something about this time of year that just awakens the goddess in me, that just awakens the most authentic layers in myself. And I'm so excited that it's here. I'm a mess. Did you drink your water today? Please drink your water if you haven't drank it. Hydrate, baby, hydrate. Witch bells are used as a form of protection. You can place them on the handle of your door, and when they jingle, they basically send vibration and sound through the home, through the portal, to protect and cleanse the space. This intro has been way too long. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. Whoever is out there watching these videos, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate it more than you will ever know. Thank you for allowing me to be me. little drink, a nice little warm drink or a cool one, depending on what it is wherever you're at, and your supplies, and let's get to creating some protective magic for our home. Here is the bells. We got some bells, we got some charms. In this one I have some herbs for prosperity and some crystals. We got a little malachite right there. In this one we have the protective herbs and some black onyx and black tourmaline. We have a spear that I got from a local native shop in the Poconos. And then in this one we have some herbs and roses and crystals to bring in love and tranquility. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for creating this with me. Share yours down below, and I will see you in my next one.